Shanti, can we design that? Some GPRS for the value system? Something can be done about it, or is it already there?
I think we all have that within us, but we've lost contact with it and we have to reactivate it. And I was thinking that in my own life, when you've come to crossroads and who do you ask? Who's there who has that perfect wisdom, who's able to guide you? It's difficult to find such people in today's world, and everybody will have a certain motive or another, and they'll of course be speaking from their perspective, their experience, their motive. So where do I go in that situation? Which is why I was so grateful to God that I found meditation, because that's the way to actually start installing it or rediscovering that it's there within you. And when there's a situation, you can't use a textbook and say, well, what does this book tell me about? What should I do now? It has to be a very simple touchstone that you can use instantly and be able to get an answer instantly. And what I discovered is that if I'm able to turn inwards and come back to the awareness of the eternal being, the soul, and also connect with God, then in that connection, the answer as to what it is I need to do comes very, very clearly, because then it's really above all other perceptions and motives and all sorts of other things that cloud the issue. So these two steps, to go inwards and connect upwards, and then in that moment of silence, that little pause, you'll know what it is you have to do. And in today's busy life, we don't pause. We don't ask ourselves the question, should I or should I not? It becomes a habit that then takes over. So now to come back to just taking that momentary pause, inwards and upwards, and then I know what to do outwards.
And I think somewhere this complete faith in that machine really helped a lot. Really helps that it's going to take me to the right destination. Somewhere that faith in God. Gentlemen, somewhere we've been talking about my karma creating my destiny or taking me to my destination. Till now I was really thinking that God is doing that. He's deciding everything for me. He's creating my destiny. He's taking me to places, or like if I can say I'm here because God decided. And somewhere here we are talking that I take a decision. It's my choice which route to take. So in this whole machinery where I was looking for right and wrong, can we go for God's role? What's his role in my life or in this my GPRS machine? What's he with me?
If you look at the stage and you see many different actors playing different roles, and each one is choosing their own destiny and creating their own destiny. And it's creating this beautiful drama on the stage. The director is willing to give instructions to every single actor. And it's up to the actor to take the directions from the director. And some listen to the director, and others listen and decide not to follow, and others deny. They don't even acknowledge the existence of the director. And so again, you find different situations within all of that. God is the supreme director and is giving directions, but each one has their own individual choice as to whether they follow those directions or whether they don't. And so this is how various different types of situations and destinies are created. Otherwise, if we all were to listen to the same extent, to the same instructions, we would all be experiencing the same fortune and destiny. And as we see, that's not actually the case.
It's not happening, yes. Very true. Shivani, there are a lot of things when we talk about, settling a karma or creating a karma. When we've been thinking now, when we become aware of it, there is we've been talking about karmic accounts. Have you heard about this word, karmic account? It looks like a bank balance somewhere where I have an account where karmas, positive karmas or good karmas or bad karmas are there. What exactly is a karmic account and how is that settling of accounts happen?
As we understand that karma is based on energy of thought, word and action, and then I understand that what is sent out will obviously come back. As we said, as you sow, so shall you reap. Now, depending on the seed, either the seed will sprout within the next few days, but either it could take a few months, a few years, and sometimes many years. But definitely it will grow. So every thought that I create, every word about you, let's say, it's energy. Once sent to you, it is going to come back to me. Now when it comes back to me, I don't recognize it at times. And because I wasn't aware of it while I was sending it, so when it comes back to me, it comes like a little shock to me, like, why is she behaving like this with me? Or I have always been nice to her. This is one common thing that we all have. I've always been nice to them. I always talk nicely to them. I've done so much for them. And yet, they are not behaving the right way with me. But when we understand that karma is not about doing and speaking, it's about thinking, that we understand that whatever we're getting from the other side is only a return of what we had sent. And what meditation teaches us is, if you're not liking what you're getting back, don't try and change the other person. If I see her not talking to me nicely, earlier I would say, why aren't you talking to me properly? Is this the way to talk to me? And I will try and change her. Now, I have to check, there is something wrong with my energy that is being sent out to her, which is making her talk to me like this. Because anyway, she's not in my control. I can request her, order her, please talk nicely to me. But she'll only do it if she feels like it. But the other easier way is just send loads of positive, pure energy. I don't have too much power over what I had done in the past, but I have the power on what to do in the present, and therefore what will happen with me in the future. As Shanti said about the role of God, that's where God's role comes in. He can't negate my past actions for me, but the connection with Him and that stability through meditation gives me the power to remain calm right now, even if there is crisis outside, and therefore create a very beautiful destiny.
Wonderful. So next time we feel that somebody is not being good to me, being nice to me, we don't have to crib, we don't have to get hurt. It's okay.
We've always been talking about this, that the wonderful thing that happens is our relationships come back into our control. Earlier, we were always trying to change other people so that we could have good relationships with them. Now it's only up to
me,
one person.
Only way we can achieve this kind of serenity is through meditation, through silence. So Shivani, when I request for a few minutes if we can experience that silence.
I would just like to say that in the beginning, Sister Samina said, unfortunately, most of us cannot be so peaceful. Little correction, no. All of us can be very peaceful. In fact, not that we can be, we are very peaceful. It's just that we have forgotten about it. Sometimes you keep something somewhere at home and you're not aware of it. You keep on looking for it everywhere, except for where you actually kept it. So peace, happiness is not something to be found outside in possessions or in people, but it's right here. It's just my powers, my thoughts. So let's take these few moments to actually open the locker and take them out. Like your jewelry, you take out once in a while. This is something we can take out every time we want. Just a little silence. Like the locker in the bank is always in one secret corner, you have to go down and go there. Just like that here. Let's forget everything that's outside for a few moments and let's try and open it. And let's see the treasures that are there for us. We're sitting very comfortably. Let the body relax. As I see the journey of my life, events, situations and people, everything seemed to be controlling what was happening to me. Everybody seemed to have taken charge of my life. Right now, in this very moment, I take the control back within me. I, the one who's on this journey, not the body, the roles and the relations, but that energy which is the master of the body. Which creates every thought and feeling, and hence every response and the destiny. I am the creator. I, that conscient being. I am the embodiment of peace and happiness. Treasures that I was looking for outside. I was asking everyone for them. They are already my property. I am a peaceful being. Just as I create this thought, vibrations of peace created everywhere around me. Right now, I am choosing to create a karma of peace. As I go out into the world of action, today I go with the awareness that the action begins within me. My every thought and feeling. And I, the Master, will now pay attention that my thought and feeling is based on my values of peace, love, and happiness, because this is my original nature. I am that peaceful being. Om Shanti.
Shanti. So we understand the secrets of karma a little bit. The only thing is understanding and implementing. And the power to implement them. Understand, we do. And the way we started, it's each thought I create, each word I say, each action I perform is my karma. Good or bad, also we understand. But yes, at times we don't have the power to walk on it, and that is where we get this meditation in a beautiful way to reach out to the Supreme Being and take that power. In fact, we'll talk more about it in the later part, but there are a lot of questions which have come from you. So let's start with that, Jayanti-ben. There are a lot of aspects about parents' karma. If the parents have performed some karmas, will it really affect the children? Do this a lot of times in India also, and I think in West as well. Whatever the parents are doing, the actions have a result on the children. So are parents' karma going to affect children's karma or results?
There's obviously a very deep connection that's there from the moment the child is conceived and takes birth. And so the karma is there already between the child, the mother, and the father. And then further on, as they go along, yes, what the child does is going to impact the parents, but also what the parents do is going to impact the child. And so if you think about karma not just as something I do individually, but as interaction, then yes, definitely, the parents impact the child and the child impacts the parents, as every parent will know.
Obviously, in obvious ways, we actually understand that if father is smoking or the parents are smoking or they are lying in their household, of course, children are catching it on. But if, they have taken a loan or there is something which, very deep karmas they have created, does it have an impact on the children's life?
In a very simple way, now never mind about the deep secrets of karma, but in a very simple way, you can see that here's a parent who's taken a loan and is worried. His behavior with the children is going to be of a very different quality than a parent who is managing within his own means and the budget and things are okay. And even if things are not wonderful in the sense of all sorts of extravagances of life, things are kept very ordinary, very simple. But the fact that the parent is carefree means that the child is able to benefit from the quality time that a parent is able to give. And maybe if there's a very complicated lifestyle, an extravagant lifestyle, and yes, the parent has this concern about fulfilling loans, etc., but the quality of time that the parent is able to give to the child is very different. And so I think that it comes back to basic values. What is it that I'm responsible for? What do I have to provide for my children? What is it that I'm meant to do as a parent? If I get my own perspectives right and I see that relationships are more important than possessions, and relationships are more important than extravagant holidays, for example, or extravagant presents, then I will focus on that and I'll give my children the things that they need the most, which is quality time and your company.
That's very true. In fact, if we talk about, because these are the questions which people have sent about karma, is a physical illness. We've all suffered. Many times, there's this illness which just comes over. And when we face that illness, it's very difficult to accept that this is because of some bad karma. And so whenever there is somebody who is not well in my family or a very close one, and when you have to go through that suffering, it's that is why we really want to understand, is physical illness a part of my karmic account?
Oh, definitely, because everything that's happening to me is a result of something that I've done. So my physical health is definitely largely dependent on my karma. And today we also understand that my physical health is based on my emotional health, that every thought I create is having an effect on the body. But today we take care so much of the body, which is good, very good, but we're not really paying attention to our emotional health. When I understand that emotional health is the foundation of physical health, and if I take care of myself emotionally, then my physical health will automatically be right. But somewhere there is so much emotional abuse today, every wrong thought that I'm creating, that it does have an impact on the body. Now, one is that if I'm already ill, now that's something that's already come, but now I have two ways of handling it.
Yeah, how can I settle it actually?
Yeah, we've seen so many people, all of us are meeting. We could meet someone who's in a chronic stage of cancer, but you can see their face and you wouldn't even come to know that there's anything wrong with them. And if you ask them, and they will say, everything is okay. And you can come across someone who has little temperature, and the whole house has been raised because I'm not well, you don't know what has happened to me, you don't know what I'm going through. So it's not so much what is the karmic account, is not so much what has happened to the body, but it's actually the suffering that I go through. The karmic result is the suffering that I go through. Now in this case, the body with the cancer ailment is deeply affected, but the soul is not suffering But in that, the soul, the body has this little temperature, but the soul is suffering a lot. So one is, if we could just make it very light. And a very easy way to do that is when I understand this is my body. Then I have this feeling of detachment from the body. It's like, this is my sari and it's just got a little dirty. So I do feel a little bad, but then it's okay, my sari's got dirty. But if I say, I am dirty, then that suffering gets too much. So similarly, when the body gets a problem, if I say, this has happened to me, it's more heavy. But if I just say, oh, my body is having some little problem and I'm settling my account, the whole perception makes the situation much lighter. We've seen our dadis, the senior most administrative heads of the Brahma Kumaris, and we have Dadi Janki, who most of you must have met, and at the age of 93, we see her as the master of her body. I mean, she has taken complete control over the body. I at least get a complex when I'm in her company that, she walks much faster than me and I keep running after her. And so many times we've seen that one night before, and tomorrow is a program. It just happened a couple of months back. She had to come to Delhi for a big program. And one night before, the doctor tells her, you cannot go. There is just no way you can travel tomorrow from Mount Abu to Delhi. And we get a call and everyone a little bit disappointed, but it's okay, it's fine. Next morning, 4 o'clock, Dadiji gets up for her meditation. And in the meantime, she gives everyone the instruction, 5 o'clock I'm leaving for Ahmedabad, and 9 o'clock she's in Delhi with everyone. She just defies medical science and everything because the power of the mind takes over the body. The body is physical, the mind is powerful. So, it's this thought that I'm absolutely fine, I am the master, this is my creation. It has to run under my control. And the other thing that we generally tend to do is talk a lot about our illness. Everyone we meet, we will talk about the illness. So we're kind of creating the account again and again and again. We're going through the pain every time we're discussing it. You ever ask Dadi, last time I met her, I made a mistake. I asked her, Dadi, how are you feeling? She said, what do you think looking at me? She's saying, is this something you need to? I said, yes. She's saying, can't you see? I said, yeah. So, that consciousness is also not there of the physical health because the emotional health is so beautiful, flying. She's not even aware. So ailments come and ailments just go away. She's just gone beyond that.
Yeah, but here I just want to ask something. That at times when we have to work, there is a project waiting, there is something we need to do, we do forget about it.
Absolutely.
But we continue to suffer.
Yeah.
See, with Dadi, I can understand that there is neither suffering.
No, take a
nor
simple
the remembrance.
thing. If you have a headache or a toothache, just go and sit in front of the television.
It'll go.
Just watch a movie, and for the next 3 hours, you will forget your pain. But after 3 hours,
It'll come back.
it's back again. So the ailment was always there. It hadn't gone. But I had shifted my consciousness away from it. Similarly, while working, if I'm working, I'm not aware of the ailment. But the minute I just sit back after everything is done, I realize, oh, everything is hurting because the consciousness goes towards that.
How not to suffer, actually?
The ailment is going to be there, whatever I can't get rid of that. But it's the quality of my thoughts that I create. Oh, why did this happen to me? The biggest question is, why has this happened to me? Everyone else around me seems to be fine. Why is it I got the diabetes? Why is it I got the blood pressure? That itself, when I understand the law of karma, why me? The question mark is over. And therefore a lot of series of negative thoughts. Suffering is basically the quality of thoughts I create thinking about that ailment. If I don't think about it, yes, I keep taking the treatment and whatever, and it'll get okay. And the positive thoughts will give it the vibration to heal. This is medically proved today, that if you create positive vibrations, your body will heal much faster. At our headquarters in Mount Abu, we have a project called Reversal of Coronary Artery Disease, where brothers and sisters with 95%, 100% blockage in their coronary artery, they come there and they understand meditation and medicine. Not that you're neglecting the medicine, but medicine, meditation, and right lifestyle. And it's a very scientific project that's been going on for the last couple of years. Amazing results. The blockage is gone. Just because you're changing your thinking about the blockage.
Very true, So sometimes, next time when I'm going to have a headache, it's going to be my head having a headache, not me having a headache, okay?
You can't run away from karmic accounts. And at some point, what you have to do is to decide, I'm not going to continue to allow this cause and effect to carry on in this way. Because, when there's a circle, where's the beginning and where's the end? Here's a seed, here's a tree, another seed, another tree. And so the cycle of karma, where do you break it? How do you settle it? And the way to settle it is to say, I'm going to change my response to this.